It is time for money. Potato. We are poor now. Potatoes. Potato. Buy potatoes. Egg festival. Money. Strawberries. Egg day. Money in the making. Money. Organization. Profit. Money maker. We're poor again. Taters. I am spending money to make money. Cash. A lot of cash. Strawberries. Oh, we can get money for that to spend on potato. Hello, child. Goodbye, child. My plan for socializing is just enormous amounts of coffee. Consume. Brought up another fish, and okay, I need to run back now. Oh, dog! Wait, we need to name the dog. Whoops. Whoops! I didn't mean to hold shit. Hello and welcome to a very interesting Stardew Valley series. This blessed mess was born from the idea of a few friends of mine to take three vastly different players and throw them together into the melting pot that is Stardew Valley, while forcing them to experience the joys of shared funding. Our merry crew on Animal Farm consists of three lovely individuals. Gromit, a lovely person whose self-described playstyle is ADHD meets farming with constant distraction and a slight tendency to communism. Petter, a fresh new perspective on the game as he is experiencing it for the first time and has to deal with our shenanigans and nonsense. And last but not least, my humble self, whose playstyle, well, you saw in the intro. A profit-hungry klutz that will either fill our bank account or accidentally spend our entire collective funds while causing plenty of mischief along the way. With this colorful mix, this is sure to become fun and chaotic, just the way I like it. Now let's go into editing our first few hours of gameplay and... oh no. So, yeah, it's time to get into why this is a bit of a lost episode. Wanted to get into making this video, I soon realized that something went terribly wrong, as I paid the price for fiddling with my OBS settings in an attempt to split my audio sources into different tracks. One for my mic, one for Discord, and one for the game itself, which worked! However, for some reason my mic was the only one with any actual audio on it, not exactly making for great content. In other words, this may not be the full starting episode, but instead the footage I could salvage to recap our progress so far and make for a bit of free entertainment for you lot. So, enough of my whining and let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy. The beginning was fairly standard. We went about planting our parsnips together in one communal field before going about our separate ways to explore town, with some of us excited to see what the areas had to offer, some of us socializing with the peasants on day one, and me starting my venture by collecting the wild seeds from the local bushes like a rabbit magpie in order to plant them for profit before taking a well-deserved nap. We then proceeded with regular spring stuff. Foraging, collecting some free spring onions, cutting down trees, and starting a storage system. This is one of the few games where I actually do care quite a bit about organization, while I'm usually, a little messy. Of course, we also eagerly met up with Willy to receive our very own fishing rods, much to the joy of me and Petter and dismay of Gromit, as the Stardew fishing isn't exactly their favorite. Bit by bit, we found our roles and places in the valley, setting goals and building up our farm to the level of a respectable backyard garden. It wasn't long until more aspects of the game were made available, as Lewis gave us the keys to the abandoned community center and the Junimosen wizard allowed us to begin restoring it, with Petter being able to experience the slightly shady potion this magic man made for us. Yes, you may be a little surprised from what you heard before that I don't immediately ally with our local capitalistic overlord, but even I have standards. Besides, Pierre will be much more easy to topple once Georgia is out of the picture. There can be only one monopoly in this town. And of course, I want Petter to be able to experience the joys of discovering you missed a fish in spring and have to wait a whole year until you catch and donate it again. Though so far, any restoration is nothing more than a lofty dream until we gather resources and capital, which is why I already have my sights set on the 13th day of spring, awaiting the Egg Festival, where I shall rule supreme with my army of strawberry Until then, I continue to grow and sell more and more crops, proving myself a true German with an overwhelming amount of potatoes, much to the dismay of my two, fellow farmers. Gromit in the meantime had gained access to the local mines and was already hard at work. The speed with which they reached the lower and lower levels leaving me to pick my jaw off the floor while I pick up some materials for some tappers as well. All the while Petter was meeting the townspeople, learning to fish and enjoying his first round of Journey of the Prairie King, otherwise known as one of the hardest challenges in Stardew, while of course also helping us out with our stuff along the way. Things were going great aside from the occasional overspending, with some of us even settling on potential love interests. Gromit and I had both had our fair share of Stardew spouses already, deciding to both settle for something different this time around. They went with the community's favorite himbo, Alex, while I set my sights on the recluse poet Elliot, who I was simply curious about as he had been a bit of a, well, recluse. I didn't learn much about him during my previous playthroughs. Petter in the meantime decided Leia was the one for him, appreciating her overall vibe and personality. A bunch of solid choices, I'd say. And of course, we can't forget about our farm's fourth member, our beautiful dog Chili, who we all love and appreciate very much, and if you don't, you may perish. And soon enough, with me checking the calendar every day like a hungry eagle circling in for the kill, Egg Day had finally arrived and my plan could be set into motion. All the funding in the world shall fuel my takeover of this quaint little village. Well, I should clarify, I mean a third of our funds, as we decided to split it evenly. I, of course, spent my share on strawberries, while Gromit bought a few lovely decorations, and Petter joined me in our fruit empire. I'm so proud. We then proceeded to talk to the different townspeople and prepared to cheer Petter on his first blind egg hunt, which he won and received a lovely straw hat for. Speaking of hats, Gromit, style-oriented as always, decided to support local businesses by paying a visit to our beloved Hat Mouse and purchasing a lovely good old cap. It seems now I need to get a hat of my own if I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. Funnily enough, we did choose nearly identical clothes separate from one another. Either way, in this session we ended up playing up until spring 16th, so without further ado, I present to you our pride and joy, Animal Farm. And here we go, this is our progress so far. As you can see, we spread our scarecrows around, planted our strawberries, and started watering the fields. Now, we haven't been able to clear any of this. We chose the Four Corners farm, by the way. There we go. Chili's out on the run again. But yeah, down here we have a couple of tappers to start with the cake production later. I'm sure you already know where that is going to go. And yeah, from that point on, we haven't really done much more on the farm yet. As you can see, we have the standard house in which I live, then we have a wonderful stone and a wonderful log cabin for the other two. We haven't started on a silo or coop yet, but that is going to be the next project, I think. Of course, since it's spring, we also have our salmon berries everywhere. Now, for the mines, we managed to get down to level 40, which is, I'd say, very impressive for just the 16th of spring. Well, I say we, but mostly Gromit has been getting a lot of stuff done here. For the community center, we have the pantry, we have finished the spring crops. We don't have anything in the boiler room yet aside from, you know, some copper, and started some of the other bundles. The fish tank, as always, is going to be one hell of a challenge, but we've been doing pretty well. We have yet to get started on night fishing proper, but when it comes to lake fish, we are only missing the sturgeon, which we will take care of in the summer. Ocean fish, of course, and the crab pod should not be that much of a challenge. For the crafts room, of course, we also already completed the foraging bundle for spring, and we are doing our best to get the 5 golden parsnips for the quality crop bundle going. And yeah, that's pretty much our progress so far. Now, as you might be able to hear, I'm a little sick at the moment, so I'm just going to do my best to recover quickly, and I hope after that you guys are already looking forward to episode 2, where hopefully I will actually manage to get proper audio going. I'm sorry for this being a little bit of a lost episode, as I stated before, but I hope you enjoyed regardless. You already know the standard YouTube stuff, so I'm just going to leave you to it, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and maybe even see you next time. Have a wonderful day.